Hi, okay, so this is the video for the Brochure Walker Inventory Update app. So just going to go over some setup to set up the app because we're going to be running it on your local workstation. If you do want to host this, we can host this and you won't have to go through this. Well, you only have to go through it once regardless, but if you have more than one person running it, of course they're going to have to go through it as well. So we're just going to go to our to my GitHub repo. I'll post a link. I think I've already posted in the Trello. You're just basically going to copy the URL. So there's a button here to clone or download. Just copy that to your clipboard. You're going to want to open up a terminal window. You're going to need to have Git installed, and of course, you'll also need to have Node.js. So to download that to your local workstation, you're just going to do a git clone, and that will download. That will download the project, and then you're just going to CD into that directory, and you're going to do an npm install, and that will install all of your dependencies. So yeah, you want to let that complete, but we don't need to because we have it installed in another directory. But the other thing that you're going to need to do here is just create an environment file. So the name of the file is .env. So this will contain our API key. So I'll show you that in a second, but yeah, that's basically how you do that there. You'll want to do this, well, you'll either need to enable hidden files, or you'll need to do this in an editor like VS Code or Sublime or yeah. So you'll want to put your Shopify token here. So this is going to be the password for your Shopify custom app. So as you can see there's a password. It's not being shown now. I'm not going to show it. But yeah, you're just basically going to want to copy that. So what I would recommend is for the dev environment, there is already a custom app that you can use. It's called CSV Test. You can rename that if you want, or create a new one. But then you're also going to want to do the same thing in the production environment and make sure that you have it set up there. What I'd suggest is maybe just run a couple tests in dev first, just to make sure things work the way you expect. I've been testing things and I don't see any problems with it, but let me know if you do encounter any issues, but it should be okay. Just run a couple tests just to make sure that everything's good to go. So yeah, that's essentially it. Go ahead and populate that file and just make sure that, if you're going to change environments, you need to change the key. The syntax needs to be exactly the same here. So it needs to be all uppercase React _app _Shopify _ token. If it's not exactly like that, it's not going to work. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think the key needs to be in quotes. Let me just see here. Yeah, so you don't need to put the key in quotes. You can just put it after the equal sign. Okay, so that's pretty much it then for setup. You only have to do this once. It is a little bit to do, but once it's set up, that's pretty much all you need to worry about, is just running the app. So to do that, you're just going to do an npm start. It's going to run on port 3000. The React script should launch it on port 3000 automatically for you, but if you do need to go back to it if your browser window gets closed, just remember 3000 is the magic number. So you just go to localhost :3000 will bring you to port 3000. Oh yeah, and then so we have let's see here. So we have one item that we updated. That is the Adele Popover White Poplin. I changed some of the values here. So we have extra smalls, 2 small, 30, medium, 20, and just for good measure to show the negative values work, our large is set to -1. So as you can see, let's see here. So these are our current values. As you can see, they're different than the values we want to change. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so I'm just going to take the file. So the app is running, so it's pretty straightforward. Not much really going on here for style. We're just going to, you can either drag and drop the file, or you can click on the dotted line and it'll actually give you a dialog. So I'm just going to go ahead, copy this over. And that's essentially it as it's processing it. So there's essentially two things that happen here. So we're using the GraphQL API. That's because the REST API, it was a little bit difficult to get the ID based on the handle without downloading the entire inventory. So with GraphQL, it has a query where you can just supply the handle, and then you'll get the ID. So that's basically the two parts. Is we're getting the we're building the handle based on the spreadsheet, and then we're querying the GraphQL API to get the ID, and also determining the number of increments that we need to adjust the inventory based on the new inventory, subtract from the current inventory. As you can see now, it's going through, and you can see each variant, the size, and then the new quantity. And then the second part we do is mutation. So this is the GraphQL. This is a graphical ID that's actually installed in the dev environment. It's pretty sweet. You can do some cool things with that, even if you don't really know much about coding. But yeah, the two things that we're doing is, we're getting the ID by the handle, and then once we've built the list to update, we update the actual inventory item. So this is a mutation. This is a change to the database, essentially like a write, and in order to get the IDs by handle, we issue a query. Yeah, you can come in here and play. Like, it's pretty. What happened there? Sorry about that. Yeah, like, you can come in here and play like with products. It's pretty easy. It's pretty intuitive. So you have the docs on this side. It's self-documenting, so it'll tell you what the different queries are that you can do, and as well as the mutations, and it will auto-populate things. So like this, looks, like you'd have to know that, but you can actually just go like this and go to products. Okay, I want to see the products, and maybe I don't really know what else comes after that, so I can just execute, and it's going to tell me, okay, so these are the fields that are required. But you need to provide one of first or last. So what does that mean? It means, do we want to see the n number, of first entries, or the n number of last entries? So it's actually super easy for that. You just open parentheses, and it's going to give you all your options. So there's first, so first 10. So now we see our first 10. We just see the IDs, but if we want to see like the handle, we go handle. So I can do another video on this. It's pretty sweet. There's all sorts of things that you can do, and it's pretty accessible. But yeah, that's that. So this should be completed now. So as you can see, it's telling us there's one item that was in the spreadsheet that's not in the store. As well, there was a duplicate entry. So the duplicate entries we skip over, so those do not get modified. So yeah, let's go ahead and check our actual product here to see if it worked. And there we go. Let's see. So where are we here? The white poplin right here. So we have extra small is 2, small is 30, medium 20, large -1. And yeah, so that's that. Like I said, run this a couple times. I haven't done a whole lot of testing with the one size fits all, so maybe I'd suggest trying that out. But everything else should be good to go. If there's anything else you want to see in terms of the report at the end, do you want to see like a summary of how many inventory items, or do you want it written to a log file, or anything like that? It's pretty easy at this point because everything's built up. So let me know if this is not adequate, but I'm pretty sure it should be good. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to sign off now.